I'm smoking on your top 5 tonight. Bad news, Devin Haney, George Kambosos. It looks like there's some confusion and the talks have stalled out. We may not get closer to undisputed. Stay tuned to this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. I need you guys 2022. If you enjoy the content, this is not free. I mean, it's free to watch, but all I ask for you is to wreck the algorithm, leave me a comment, throw a like on the video. Boom. Chris Mannix reports of Sports Illustrated and DAZN. It says Kambosos versus Haney, the talks have gone dormant. If you know what the word dormant means, they've gone to sleep, so that is not a good look. With money being a major obstacle, Team Kambosos has had productive discussions with Top Rank, however, about Lomachenko, while Golden Boy is pushing for Ryan Garcia to get Kambosos. And this is just like I guess a newsletter. So do a click and boom. Talks for a lightweight title fight between Devin Haney and George Kambosos have stalled. Sources familiar with the negotiations told Sports Illustrated. Officials involved have struggled to come up with a financial package that will satisfy Devin Haney. This is what they're alleging. The undefeated title holder, who's coming off of a win over Joseph Jojo Diaz Jr. last month, while Kambosos' team and promoter Lou DiBella and manager Peter Kahn continues to discuss with Top Rank a deal to possibly face Vasiliy Lomachenko. Negotiations for a 2-fight package there have been relatively seamless. There is some momentum building towards a deal with Ryan Garcia. Representatives of Kambosos and Ryan Garcia have discussed the framework of a 2-fight deal that would see Kambosos and Ryan Garcia take interim fights in the first half of 2022. Garcia is penciled in to return in April, while Kambosos prefers to fight in June, while the two colliding in the second half of the year. So I don't know what's up with Gervonta Davis. He might have to fight his mandatory in Rolando Ramiro, right? But this is not good for Devin Haney because, listen, the great Ego Stradamus strikes again. I don't know how many times I have to keep getting it right. I'm just going to keep doing my thing. And I told you it would be some more BS as it pertains to this. Now, I got more videos coming because Lou DiBella is saying certain things. Devin Haney says that DiBella in his statement is capping. So you guys stay tuned to the action. We'll see who's capping and kind of go over the friction in another video. So I'm going to save that video. That's why you guys got to subscribe, come back to the content. But, you know, Ego Stradamus strikes again. I knew this would turn out to be something where we want to see undisputed. And, you know, it'd be some preliminary talks that are made and something would happen. And it looks like the game is kind of pigeonholed and trying to prevent that from happening. You know, Top Rank, they keep cutting in and trying to cut Devin Haney out of different equations. Devin Haney was in line to fight Luke Campbell. Lomachenko got in it. You know, WBC, Lomachenko, Top Rank reached out to the WBC and they cut in front of Devin Haney at that point. Then Devin Haney was the mandatory because Lomachenko fought Luke Campbell and defeated him, nearly stopping him in one of the rounds, even though Lomachenko was hurt in that fight. And then Devin Haney was the highest ranked guy, the mandatory for Loma. And then Lomachenko petitioned to become the mandatory or the franchise champion, according to the WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman. So that's the second time that Devin Haney was stifled out of the conversation. Now, I don't know exactly what's going on here, but stay tuned to the other video. But, you know, multiple people are vying for the attention of George Kambosos. He wasn't supposed to win. He beat Teofimo comfortably. He did win. And now people are trying to jump in the mix and on the bandwagon and get that fight. And no, this is no disrespect to George Kambosos. I like him. I think he's a good fighter. But I also think this is a situation where, let's be real, George Kambosos, although he beat Teofimo convincingly, there was a round where he was like badly hurt, and he's not necessarily known. Oh, those are some nice watches and jewelry. That bust down is raw. But anyway, there was moments in that fight with Kambosos and Teofimo where Teofimo, had he not been off to such a bad start, he might have been able to do something more. But, I'm not making excuses, coulda, shoulda, woulda. He didn't do it. He couldn't get it done. So the rightful person won. But with that being said, there were vulnerabilities shown in Kambosos' game that these other guys, from Ryan Garcia to Lomachenko to Devin Haney, since he has that hardware, they probably all think that they can take it from him, because there were vulnerabilities. It's not like he looked invincible. Versus if Teofimo and Devin Haney fought and Devin Haney looks like he's been looking, and if it was the same performance, Devin Haney his defense is more put together than a lot of these fighters. So it wouldn't have looked like that. If anything, he probably would have boxed Teofimo Lopez and his face wouldn't have been all bashed up and cut up like Teofimo's face was, like Kambosos' face was. So that being said, styles make fights, and these fighters know that. So again, no disrespect to Kambosos, but people think he's ripe for the picking, as opposed to if Devin Haney had those same titles, or somebody like Tank Davis, who's just extremely dangerous, or Isak Pitbull Cruz, or, whoever had the title, I don't know if people would be chomping at the bit to fight different styles as much. But George Kambosos, he's a warrior type. He likes to go out on his shield. And again, he's not the most defensively sound. And I know some people are going to say, oh, that's good because I don't like boring fighters and stuff. But, none of that matters when you're not winning. There's a lot of guys who have been warriors and their face looked like hamburger meat at the end of the fights. And they got hematomas and concussions and blood and cuts and gore. That's cool, but that's not necessarily what boxing is back about. You know what I mean? Some people, they look for that, but it's the art of hit and don't get hit. There's a great video with the great Mike Tyson. It's like when Customato, he told me, he said that one day I was going to be a champion and that nobody could beat me because I would fuck them up, right? And Mike Tyson was training in the gym, young Tyson, Brownsville. It's me, Mike Tyson. I'm from the Catskill. I just want to kill these cats because I'm from the Catskill. I'm not a textbook fighter. I fight to win, totally to win. And in this video with Mike Tyson and Customato, you hear the legendary boxing trainer Customato say, "That's it, Mike. The sweet science of boxing, the art of hit and don't get hit." And it's a classic video. If you're a real boxing head, you probably have seen at least snippets from that same footage, archive footage of the great Mike Tyson from Brownsville, right? And Customato, he had a monster in Mike Tyson, powerful guy, but he was teaching him the right way. And that's what people in this boxing game are starting to forget. Mike Tyson, he was vicious. Everybody was afraid. They were scared. They was crying in there, making women gestures, all types of noise, right? They was afraid of Mike. But Mike, with Customato, was a real problem because he had the proper schooling. It wasn't just like blood, guts, and Jim Lampley's The Gotti list. Rest in peace to Arturo Gotti. But boxing is more than that. And I think that's what's seen Devin Haney have a lot of problems getting some of these top fights. Like Teofimo and Top Rank, they're more inclined to put Teofimo in with the Kambosos. You could say it's his mandatory, but styles make fights. And that was a fight that Teofimo was definitely supposed to win. If Teofimo were to fight against Devin Haney, he's undefeated. He's much, much slicker. And even though guys like Joseph Jojo Diaz were coming off brilliant performances against the boogeyman, fighting Devin Haney, he looked like a different fighter. He looked bad. He didn't look like that versus Tevin Farmer. But again, this is boxing. This is styles make fights. So Devin Haney, he's gonna, until he gets like defeated, or if he were to get knocked out, or if he looks super suspect and vulnerable, Devin Haney's gonna continue to be a victim of the NBF no black fighter list and stay away from this guy and his style is boring. You know, people are just going to say this miscellaneous things to try to stagnate his career in hopes that they don't have to face him. Now, again, I don't have all the details with Kambosos particularly, but one thing that is tried and true, and I let you know, was that it was going to be problems, and I wouldn't hold my breath that we would get undisputed. The powers that be, the WBC, they don't even look like they're in the process of wanting to clear this up. They're acting like they're good. They're like, oh, Devin, he's the Pride champion, and Kambosos, he's undisputed, you know, and they're saying these things, and it's cold-blooded. But this is the sport I'm in, and it is what it is. So, told you, don't hold your breath for the Devin Haney. Again, I don't know whose fault it is and all that, but, you know, this is why boxing has a difficult time growing new audiences, because boxing could be the best sport in the world, but with politics and people failing DRUG test and, you know, miscellaneous things, fights not happening when they're supposed to. Shout to George Kittle, 49er, gang, gang, bang, bang, Niner gang. Y'all know what it is. Bay Area all day. Y'all know what I'm repping, you know. But anyway, back to all these politics. You know, George Kambosos and Devin Haney would have been a great fight, but they're saying the talks have now flattened and went dormant over money. And, you know, it's just sad to see, because that's the one fight that I said I wanted to see. But importantly, I think boxing fans want to see, so we can end this mess that was created by Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC once and for all as to who is the WBC undisputed guy at lightweight. But, you know, Ryan Garcia, he took a year off, and in this article is saying that he's in the running more so than Devin Haney. That's a problem with boxing. Listen, I don't have nothing against Ryan Garcia, but how do you play hooky from school and then you make the honor roll? You know, the man fought one time last year, got dropped, tough fight, came back, stopped Luke Campbell, who's mid, you know, and he's in the running to fight for all the titles based on his alleged celebrity and Instagram following. Meanwhile, the one fight with Devin Haney that would facilitate a true undisputed, and there wouldn't be any questions, because I don't care what Mauricio Suleiman says. By the English language, Oxford Dictionary, Webster's Dictionary, Kambosos is not undisputed, because the definition, look up undisputed, what it means. There is a dispute. It's contested. So you can't say somebody's undisputed. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it's not going to be true. That's like saying that Spud Webb is tall. You know what I mean? You could say it, you know. That's like saying a baby is a grown person. In our society, a baby is, you know, if it's a newborn, it's 12 months old, you can't vote, you can't buy cigarettes. So by societal terms, that baby is not an adult. So they could keep saying he's undisputed, but the true fans know what it is. Let me know how I did in this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm the best in the business. Y'all know that, though. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. 10x videos, ego. Signing off. We working. And I'm out. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.